Hey, what's up, guys? It's Russo and Jordy with Backdoor Fantasy Sports. It's been a minute. Jordy's doing better, and we're going to try to get back on track with our normal schedule here. Today, sorry, I just ate some yogurt, so I'm a little bit messed up here. But today is March 10th, Monday. We have an awesome 12-game slate. There's like so much value on the board for prize picks and for underdog right now. So yeah, very excited to get into this and get things back on track here. If you're new to, if you haven't signed up for Underdog, Better, or Parlay Play, use our code. It's just Backdoor, one word, and they're going to give you all sorts of awesome sign-up bonuses. And if you're going to check out Parlay Play, make sure you shoot us an email, because for Parlay Play, we're going to give you a month in our premium Discord as well. Just email us at bdfantasysports@gmail.com. and we'll get you in within 24 hours. We just got to make sure that the code was used. We'll confirm with Parlay Play and we'll get you right in. So yeah, let's talk about the plays that we're going to be taking. I'm going to be going with Karl-Anthony Towns. I'm taking his under 42.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And then going in the same game, Jonas Valanciunas over 28 PRA. What are you getting into, Jordy?
Yeah, so for me, I'm going to be taking Miles Bridges over 10.5 rebounds, assists, and I'm taking Luka Doncic for over 3.5 3-pointers made.
All right, sounds good. Well, if you guys don't mind, do us a favor and like the video, drop us a comment, whatever you feel like doing. It really helps us with the algorithm, puts us in front of a larger audience. So we really appreciate the support. And if you haven't checked it out yet, we have our solo channels too now. Mine is just at JRussoBDFS. I've got some plays for today's slate already up over there. And then Jordy's is just at JordyBDFS. And he covers esports as well as NBA, NFL when we've got it. So yeah, come subscribe to our solo channels. We're putting out more content for you guys. So let's start talking about the plays. So Karl-Anthony Towns, I was thinking about taking his fantasy score under because then you know, it helps with turnovers, and his turnovers have been decent. This is the head-to-head look. So his most recent outing with New York, he only had one turnover, so it didn't pay off much. But both times with Minnesota, he had 3 or more. So that's why I was thinking about the fantasy score. But then I noticed on Prize Picks, the PRA is set at 42.5, but the fantasy score is set at 47, which all markets have it at 47. So the rest of the market makers have this at 41.5. I still liked it at 41.5, but at 42.5, I have to take the PRA under versus the fantasy score with that full point bump. If we look at his last 5 games, he's only done this once in his last 5 games, and he just barely made it. He hit that 42. And so he just really has not been in rhythm lately. Even if you look at this trend here, we've got like a down game, a little bit better, down, a little bit better. So if this trend is any indicator, he should do worse than 35. Not saying that that's absolutely a lock to happen or anything. Nothing's a lock, but yeah, I just don't think he's going to be able to get this done. And even you would think without Jalen Brunson, they're going to rely on him more. So if that scares you, I don't blame you. If you feel good about it, take the over. But I think that he's going to go under. If we look at his last 10, he's had like that one close call. Other than that, he had these 3 spike games, and he's just kind of not been playing well since. So he's gone under this. Let me adjust this to, let's go under 42.5. So yeah, he's gone under this 7 out of his last 10 games, and we got 5 games straight here. No, 6 games straight of him not getting this done. If you look at the matchup, it's not terrible. They're actually, it's pretty solid matchup for him. 19th in points allowed, 25th in rebounds allowed, 25th in assists allowed. But we know that did not help him with the head-to-head. So feeling good about him not getting this done again tonight. Let's look at these last 5 a little bit more. So he's averaging 37.8 minutes, 39% from the field on 15.2 attempts. Let's see what his most recent. So he had 21 attempts. So if he gets hot, like this is going to be a little bit scarier. But he shot 38% in that last game on 21 attempts. So 38% isn't too bad, but still shooting 38%, cashing 8 buckets, and he had 3 threes in that game, and he still only went for 35 PRA. So I think it's the type of thing where if he does, a little bit better with the scoring, that kind of cuts into his assists. The rebounds, he's always going to be a solid rebounder. But yeah, this line is just set really high for how he's been playing. 22.3 rebound chances a game over this 5-game stretch, 1.8 potential assists. We see the assists are way down for him. Not that he's ever been like, Sabonis or, something like some type of center that assists a lot, but we know he's capable of getting up there to like 4 or 5. His average is way down right now, just 1.8. Averaging 4.2 fouls. We're hoping he gets in foul trouble tonight for taking the under. But yeah, we can see he's kind of been in foul trouble a lot lately. This is his lowest outing against the Clippers, and he had 3 fouls. But other than that, it just hasn't been looking good. Let's look at this note from Outlier. He's failed to exceed 41 and a half points, rebounds, and assists in 8 straight games versus versus top 10 defenses for rebounds allowed. He's averaging 29.4 across this stretch. So 8 games, against bottom 10 defenses I'm so used to saying bottom, I don't take unders as much. Top 10 defenses for rebounds allowed, 100% hit rate on the under. His best game was 36. And we're getting this at 42.5. I'm loving it. That kind of covers it. Let's take a look at and see what Daily Grind thinks about this. Just type in Carl. Okay, they're not giving me anything. Let's try Towns. There it is. All right, they like his points rebounds over. That's kind of scary because they like the over 38.5, and that's going to be a little too close for comfort. And they do like the PRA over 41.5. So did that get bumped down already? It may have. I still like the under at 41.5 personally, but you guys go with your gut. They have it at a 50.97% odds to hit the over, -122. And everyone's bumping this down to 41.5. Let's see. DraftKings is the only one that still has it at 42.5. So go with your gut. Unders are sweaty. I get it. Like maybe tonight's the night that he breaks this funk he's been in. But I'm going to take a chance on it. And the only reason I say take a chance is just because unders are they make me a little anxious. But it's looking solid. I don't personally think he bounces back tonight in this matchup. He's always kind of struggled against the Kings. And then let's see what they're saying for the over-under. Okay, last game of the night, 219.5, so not a super high over-under. Knicks favored by just 2.5, playing in Sacramento. And this is without Sabonis. This is without Malik Monk. They're still only getting favored 2.5 here. They got no Jalen Brunson. I think that the Kings are going to be able to just focus on Cat and make the rest of their role players beat them. So I'm rolling it. Let's do it. Same game, we got Jonas Valanciunas, who's been absolutely looking like vintage Valanciunas here with Sabonis out getting all these extra minutes. He's cleared this 27.5. We're getting it at 28. I still like it at 28. Maybe that bumped too, along with that Cat line. But for Valanciunas, he's just been playing awesome lately. And he's cleared this in 4 out of his last 5. One more bucket would have cashed the 27.5 and would have pushed the 28 that we're getting in this game against Dallas, averaging 30.7 minutes a game, 3.6 fouls, and shooting 54% from the field on 11.4 attempts. 2 made free throws a game, not getting there that often, but cashing them when he does, 77%. And then 3.8 potential assists. So even with his limited role, he's getting more minutes lately, but he's like doubling what Cat's been averaging on the assists. And if you look at these assists, it's been pretty awesome. You got 3 straight games with 6 or more assists, and 3 straight games with 12 or more rebounds. So I'm feeling good about it. Let's take a look at the matchup. So 13th in points, 3rd in rebounds, 11th in assists allowed. If we jump over to the center position, 10th in points allowed, 5th in rebounds allowed, 15th in assists allowed. Now let's look at the head-to-head. So he's cleared this 2 out of his last 5, but let's look at these minutes. Let's see if it correlates here. So he's doing this on not like a whole lot of minutes. His last time playing them head to head was with Washington. And so even with Washington, that was this season, right before the new year, December 30th, with Washington in 21 minutes, he put up 33 PRA. Let's see what that game looked like. 126 to 106. So yeah, he's going to get more minutes than that tonight. Let's see. Yeah, he's averaging 30 minutes. He did it with a much worse team in his last head-to-head, and he's just kind of in rhythm right now. Let's look at this. Yeah, you can see a blatant, obvious spot when Valanciunas started to miss some games. So yeah, I'm feeling really comfortable with it if he's able to get it done with Washington. So here's a note just in full transparency. He's failed to exceed 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists in 11 of his last 12 games at home, averaging 18.4 PRA. But let's take a look here. See games without Valanciunas. It says game time decision, but everything I've read online says Valanciunas is out. Okay, so a lot of these are... So there's only one game here without Sabonis, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, see, these are all with Washington home games, and his minutes were really like not respectful. Like he wasn't getting respected in Washington. But the only game with the Kings when Valanciunas was out, he went for 33 in his home game. So you kind of don't read too much into this note because there's a lot of other information here that is the reason for that. Okay, let's see what Daily Grind thinks. So they don't like the PRA. They have it favored to the under, so go with your gut. Over 28, they have it at a 52.62% odds to hit the under, minus 130. And a big part of that is because this is at 27.5 on most platforms. I got it locked in on Underdog for 27.5. I'm stoked I was able to get that. But yeah, the 28, there's some have it at 28.5 though, like Pinnacle and BetMGM. So they're not super confident that the 28 is terrible. It's just because of all these 27.5s. But if it was that bad, you wouldn't have Pinnacle and BetMGM setting it at 28.5. So if you don't want to take this, for overs, they like his 3.5 points in the first quarter. Favor to go over, 51.09% odds to hit the over, minus 126. They like his steals. They like his points assists. These are all just slightly favored over, but they like a lot of his unders. So go with your gut. I'm feeling comfortable with it. I wonder what his fantasy score was set at. Let's take a look. Okay, so Prize Picks, are they giving us a full? Yeah, so yeah, if they're liking his steals, maybe you want the fantasy score. Fantasy scores looked solid. Is that what I took? Yeah, I took the PRA. Fantasy score is looking pretty solid. Let's see. Blocks and steals. Yeah, dang, I think I originally wanted the fantasy score because I remember looking at the blocks and steals, but I'm happy with the PRA. I think either of these. The fantasy score looks great though. He's had at least 2 blocks and steals in 5 games straight. This game against Houston, he went nuts, 3 blocks, 4 steals. But this is going to get you, I mean, he you get 3 points for every block and steals. So the matchup is tough though for blocks and steals. 4th in steals allowed to centers, 9th in blocks allowed. Then overall, they're pretty clean, the Knicks, 3rd in steals allowed overall, 16th in blocks allowed. Let's look at the head-to-head for the blocks and steals in case you guys want that fantasy score. So yeah, it hasn't been that crazy in the head-to-head. The only time, well, these are all with Washington though. So maybe that's changed. Maybe, the style of the Kings play is helping him a little bit. So if you want the fantasy score, take that. And what was that set as? See real quick. All right. It's set at 35. So I think I still do actually like the PRA because it's kind of baked in there. I mean, you still get 1.2 points for every rebound, 1.5 for every assist. So that's going to help stack that fantasy score too. But yeah, I mean, the blocks and steals, the averaging 2 a game over the last 5 is definitely baked into that. So I might take the fantasy score in one and take the PRA in another. I kind of like them both pretty evenly. But daily grind doesn't have the fantasy score on here. So go with your gut. You have plenty of options here. And if you guys want to check out Outlier, this is a killer app, and it just really helps you dial in and make an informed decision. You got all these statistical categories you can look at. You can go to all these different time frames, take players in and out of the equation. You got matchups, injury reports, and then insights, which is awesome. The insights tab is awesome. It's just stuff like this note with this little light bulb. They just put them all on your radar here, stuff that they're liking to go over or under. So yeah, you can try this app out for free. Just sign up through the link below for Outlier. You don't need to put a code in. Just sign up there and they're going to let you check it out for a week. So that's going to cover my plays. I'll pass it over to Jordy.
All right. Yeah. So to cover mine, I've got this Miles Bridges first. I feel pretty good about this one. The only thing that is a little concerning is that Melo Ball is back tonight. Whether he's going to be on full time, I don't know. He might be restricted tonight. Usually when they bring him back the first game, he is restricted to like 25 minutes. That's been the pattern. I don't know if they'll do that tonight. You really just never know with these guys. The NBA's injuries are like the worst to deal with because you just don't know if these guys are kind of resting or if they're coming back to play full minutes. It's just kind of hard to tell. But Miles Bridges has been killing this rebounds, assists over the last couple games. Obviously, this has been without LaMelo. If you take a look here, without LaMelo Ball, he's gone over this 14 out of 16 games this year. And with him in, he's only gone over it 14 out of 33. So go with your gut here. But in that last head-to-head against Miami where he did have LaMelo, he went for 11. So he did cash this. And they're dealing with the injury bug on the Heat side too. No Jovic. Duncan's a game time decision. Wiggins is a game time decision. Hero, Alec Burks, Hayward, Highsmith. So they're dealing with it too. But I do feel good about this. I think regardless, Nurkic is a game time decision still with the neck soreness. So if he misses, that'll open up more rebound opportunities for Miles. Miles is going to get a full minute share. He'll probably get 30 to 40 minutes tonight, and hopefully the game doesn't get ugly, but I don't think it will with LaMelo. But I think LaMelo will probably be restricted to like 20 to 25 minutes. So we'll see. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I do like this to go over regardless. I think it's a good matchup. It's 14th in rebounds allowed, 16th in assists, and last time he went for 11. He's come close in other matchups too, but that most recent one he went over it, and he's just been doing it a lot lately. So he's in the rhythm of getting rebounds right now and getting assists. So maybe he helps LaMelo get the ball going tonight. And typically what I've picked up on too is when LaMelo's coming back his first game, he's kind of just scoring the ball and not really facilitating it like he usually does. It really just depends what you're going to get with him, but I do like this for Bridges. If we take a look at this on Daily Grind, let's see, I really liked Tyrese Maxey's fantasy score at 34, but they took it down on me. But if we look at Miles' rebounds, assists here, let's see, where'd they go? Where are they at here? They're not showing it on here. Maybe it got taken down and bumped again, but it's still the same. So I don't know why it's not on here, but I do like it to go over. So I'm going to be taking the 10.5. It was like a minus 135 to go over. So feeling good about that one. If that one is taken down, I do like some other plays that I'll kind of mention to you. I've got a full 6-man here, but my other play is Luka Doncic's 3-pointers. He's really been getting in his stride with the 3-pointers. There's probably not going to be any LeBron tonight, I imagine. He's out. No Jackson Hayes, no Rui. Luka's a game time decision, but it's looking like he's leaning to play, and I think it's a good matchup for him. If you take a look, like he's been struggling, but obviously the whole trade and everything, but over the last 4 games he's really gotten his 3-point shooting going. He's getting in double-digit attempts every single game, so for him to hit 4 threes on double-digit attempts is just a ridiculous value to have. 12, 13, 12, 10 attempts, and he's going over these. He's making 5, 6, 4, and 5 over his last 4. So he's really getting in the groove with the scoring. Against Brooklyn, it's a little bit of a tough matchup, but I think he can get it going. I think it's going to be a fun game. So I like Luka's 3 points to go over. If we take a look at this on Daily Grind, let's see what they feel about it. His 3-pointers are favored to the under. So go with your gut, but I do like it to go over. The pivot option, I'll say for Miles, that I like if Miles is taken down, which is kind of looking like he is. Let's see. I don't see his rebounds, assists anymore. But the one pivot I do like is actually Paolo Banchero for over his assists. Now, every time he's played Houston in recent time that I've watched, they've like doubled him in every single game. So his assists are always pretty solid because he has like literally no choice but to pass the ball because they're just doubling him constantly. It's a tough matchup for everybody else to score, so there is a lot of risk involved because it's like the #1 defense against the #1 defense tonight. So they're very tough teams, but Houston's defense is legit. But Paolo Banchero, every time he plays them, they double him at the top of the key. They don't let him play at all. If you take a look at his points here, you can see that reflect in the points. 12 points, 21 points. He just gets shut off. So I like the assists over 4.5. I think it's pretty low. He's been doing it a lot anyway, but in this matchup, you can see here he's gone over that 16 out of 31 games this year. But for this matchup where I know for a fact that they double him and hound him the whole game, I do like him to go over those assists. So that's kind of the ones I wanted to show you. This is like all the other ones that I've kind of sprinkled in, but I don't feel really good about any of the other ones to like tell you to take them. But yeah, the Paulo one I do actually feel good about being a pivot option. So that's going to be the two I've got for you guys. If you want to check out Daily Grind, definitely go check it out. Go to dgfantasy.com and use code BACKDOOR, and they're going to give you 25% off your first purchase. It is definitely worth it. It helps a lot. Even when I didn't have Outlier for like a day or two when they were like kind of dealing with some stuff, I used DG and I cashed it like a 4-man. So it does work. It's an awesome tool. So definitely go check it out. And yeah, that'll do it for me today.
Yeah, man. DG, I feel like something happened in the last month too, where I don't know if they made an update or something, but I feel like the reads by Daily Grind have been a lot. Like they were always good, but they feel like they've just been super spot on lately.
Yeah.
I double checked the LaMelo thing because I took him on my channel and you got me nervous talking about but he's been back through all of March.
Oh, has he? Okay.
But he, his last game, I couldn't understand this. I was talking about it on my channel. This game against Cleveland, 118 to 117, he only played 22.8 minutes. So maybe he is nursing something. I'm hoping he gets his minutes because I took his over on my channel. But
all right, bro.
It's all good. I just had to double check that because I'm like, did I miss something here? But anyways, if you guys want to come join our Discord, we've been popping off. We've got a killer community. We have 3 awesome moderators, Bean Daddy, Bobby, and Boston Nick, the 3 Bs. And we're just like a family in here. We have a lot of fun. We build out streak slips. We build out a bunch of different platforms, every size slip you can think of. I mean, here's Boston Nick the other day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He made a 7-man on Sleeper, cashed it. So shout out to all of our moderators. You guys are awesome. But yeah, if you want to come join us, you can take advantage of that Parlay Play promo and get a month in here for free. And if you want to skip that, but make sure you use the code BACKDOOR at Parlay Play and email us at bdfantasysports so we can actually bdfantasysports@gmail.com so we can actually get you in. But yeah, if you want to skip that, you can go through Patreon. You just sign up at Patreon. It manages manages the subscriptions for our Discord. And once you've signed up there, you go into the settings and then there's a connected apps option in the menu bar and you can log into your Discord, log into our server straight through Patreon. I would show you X, but X has been dealing with some issues today. I guess rumor is they may have had like a, what's it called? Like a DDoS attack or something.
DDoS, yeah.
Yeah, apparently. So it wasn't loading for me, but don't forget to come follow our channels at JRussoBDFS and at Jordy BDFS. Yeah, come show us a little love, come subscribe. But good luck, guys. Enjoy this awesome slate. Let's start the week off right, get in the green. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you in the next one.
Good luck, guys.